There it is, Dylan on cue again. All right, we're here for week three now. We're not really going to recap week two. We're just going to do that while we look forward to week three. Try to keep this a little bit shorter. So I'm here with Mekel, Cason, Dylan, and Josh. I'm sure people are going to be popping in and out, the usual. So we're just going to get started with the Thursday night football game. God, this is going to be an absolute shit show unless it's one of those AFC East matchups that Josh Allen scores like 10 fantasy points in. God, I hope not, because I have to shotgun this week now on Thursday because of that turd. But, he won me week one against Brady, and that's all that matters. Shout out Brady Nelson for not being here once again. Josh, yep, there you go. Josh, you want to explain, I guess, actually, Dylan, you want to explain the picture there since Josh was on the field when that happened?
I mean, the picture is just him running through the tunnel, but it just reminds me of him getting popped on kick return when he was like a sophomore by a Sioux Falls Christian kid, and it was the funniest thing ever.
Yep, me,
But
me.
hey, I was in the stand, so I can't say much because I mean I was like 140 soaking wet.
Hey,
So
that's okay though, because me, Caden, and Dylan, I don't remember if Dylan participated or not, but we
yeah.
were screaming, "Watch 55." Dude gets absolutely laid out on the kickoff. So yeah, since Nelson promised to be here and yet again he's not, I had to just mention that. I wish there was a video to show of it, but that was like 10 years ago at this point. Anyway, so yeah, there's the full picture there. But anybody have anything to say about this game? Because the Dolphins look atrocious. I'm sure somebody wants to comment on how bad the Dolphins are.
I mean the Bills are minus 900 for this game. That should tell you everything. That's crazy to be minus 900 in a NFL game. Like, yeah.
What week is Mike McDaniel's fired?
Yeah,
Oh,
he is on the hot seat right now, and like there's a point of being nonchalant and like being chill, but there's a point of being just obnoxiously nonchalant and just not giving a fuck about anything. That is literally Mike McDaniel right now. He thinks he's funny in his press conferences, and he just annoys me just listening to him. He's like, "Well, we didn't move the ball on offense because we just didn't score the ball enough." It's like, dude, shut up. Like you're zooted out of your mind or you're just obnoxious. I don't know. Josh, do you look up to Mike McDaniel?
No, I had a little technical difficulties there, but I caught most of what you were saying, and I absolutely agreed with everything you said.
For some reason I just thought you liked the guy, but
No, not at all. He thinks he's the coolest guy, smartest guy in the world. Yeah, you get a little humbled for a second. Have fun, go being a running backs coach again, bud.
yeah, very true. So we'll get to the game where everyone wants to talk about here. The Vikings and Bengals back up at the battle of the backup QBs. It's probably going to be Jake Browning for the Bengals, or it's probably going to be Carson Wentz for the Vikings. And they just signed, big news. Mekel sent it to me. Big signing of Desmond Ridder, my Madden goat. Um, Jake
Future
Browning is
Panthers
also going
legend.
to be the Bengals QB, but they were calling about Malik Willis earlier this week, and God, I hope the Packers don't trade Malik Willis to them. But most people have the Vikings in this game. I'm taking the Vikings because they're at home, and I think they're actually going to fare decently well with Wentz at QB. He hasn't played in a while, but I've never thought Wentz was like terrible per se or anything like that. So, let's hear from one of the Vikings fans on this game.
I mean, I went with the Bengals more so because the weapons around Jake Browning, and he's played with those weapons around him before. Granted, I know KOC came out and said that Wentz had a great practice on Thursday, and he said the ball hit the ground maybe once or whatever. Whatever. I mean, I really am going with the Bengals just because Jake Browning has more familiarity with it, and Aaron Jones is hurt. I Why rush Darisaw at this point? Harrison Smith, I don't know if he's going to be back from his sickness. Van Ginkel, I don't know if he's going to be back. Like, there's just so many question marks with the Vikings right now, that I went with the Bengals. I will say my parents are going to this game, and like 3 weeks ago, I was like, it's gonna be a fun, high scoring game. Like, it's going to be awesome. And I texted my mom yesterday. I was like, you might watch the worst football game of all time. Like, it's going to be tough. So feel bad for them going to that, but
At my work, they were selling 100 level tickets for, I think it was like $200 or 250 this game. And it's like, okay, that's a decent price to go see Joe Burrow and, going against the Vikings. And now it's like, dude, I probably wouldn't even pay like $70 to watch this game, to be honest. I know
nah.
Cason was just at the Falcons and Raiders game. How was that experience?
The Falcons and Vikings, let me just say. Well, started out, cheerleaders came on the field first.
Was there the male cheerleaders there?
Two, yes.
Hmm. Dillon Gross,
Um,
where were you Sunday night?
The same place I was Sunday morning, sitting on my couch, eating shit food, watching football.
The Little Caesars.
No, I didn't get Little Caesars. I had Pizza Hut last week. Then this week I think I had like chicken nuggets with like the Parmesan garlic beat up sauce.
What a vibe.
Yeah, facts.
Well, Casey, you said that place was louder than you've ever heard it in the first quarter. That did not
yep,
last
I've
long, though.
been to a few Viking games since I've lived in Minneapolis area, and that was by far the loudest I've heard it. They got the decibels up to 120 actually
Dude,
right
it's
away.
loud in there. It's nuts,
And then Bijan knocked off 2 runs.
man.
So let's see, Kaysen, you went with the Vikings in this game. What makes you want to go with the Vikings? Is it because Jake Browning throws 3 picks in that Jags game and yet somehow still comes out with the win?
I think we're about to get the full Carson Wentz experience, which means he's going to just absolutely destroy 2 teams, and then he's going to melt down against the Browns or something like that in like 3 weeks, or vote Steelers, whoever they play. Um, he's probably going to come out firing and then fumble the ball a couple times. You got to get the full Carson Wentz experience, and that's what I'm anticipating. And I think that um, I think he fits KOC's scheme really well too, with the way he kind of played with the Eagles. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, Josh Mekel, since this is your team, you got anything to say about them or not really?
Yeah, I got Josh
Um,
here with me, DSU Josh. And we think the Vikings have a better head coach than the Bengals, and the roster's better, and that alone should carry us. And only Carson Wentz can sabotage that because he'll either play like a 2017 MVP or he'll play like I don't know, some JV quarterback. Josh?
I guess as you guys kind of said, I expect to see some fireworks, maybe some turnovers. Who knows what's going to happen in this game, honestly. But one thing I'll add in there is shout out to all those Notre fans out there. 0-2. Your D coordinator's now at Cincinnati. And if he stays at like what they did in college and just plays one man, good luck. Jett is gonna cook you. BTJ was wide open all day. He just sucks. So we'll see if they double team Jefferson, which they should. Hopefully Hawkinson doesn't look 40 and we can move the ball. Thielen, shout out, please do something. Uh, so yeah. Also Jordan Mason, 20 carries. We need it.
Did they sign Cam Akers today?
Yeah, welcome back to it,
Correct.
Cam
Yeah.
Akers.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's an
Gilly's
elite signing.
brethren, shout out. Love that man.
Well, I don't know. This game at the end of the day, it's probably going to be the one that's played in Minnesota, obviously, and everywhere in the Midwest. And I just hope it's not like that Lions and Bears game where I was forced to watch a 30-point blowout without them turning into another freaking game on Fox. Oh my God, that made me want to freaking gouge my eyeballs out. Um, we'll go
See, Tim,
on.
I was actually entertained by that though, because I just love watching the Bears just get demolished.
Yeah,
I
I did
love
too.
watching Caleb Williams look like a high school quarterback
Hey,
again.
I remember you saying week one in the chat, you were hyping him up, and I said,
Week
why,
one, drive
dude,
one.
this dude is absolute garbage, and I've said it for years. I don't care how annoying and how much I say it. I have said that ever since he was in college. He sucks. And it's like I don't understand why he was so hyped up as a number one pick. Then again, I'm the same way with Trevor Lawrence too.
Bro was getting bailed out in college too.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about it too. You know how many bad like top five picks there have been, or like top first round quarterbacks there have been in the last like 5 or 6 years? Like you got Lawrence, you got Caleb Williams, you got Bryce Young, you got CJ Stroud, who looks like ass now. If he's not hitting Nico Collins, he can't do anything. And he's trying to force the ball to him that entire Monday Night Football game. That was driving me nuts. I know I've been high on Cam Ward. Cam Ward has shown flashes. Who knows how he's gonna end up being? But it's like McCarthy also looked bad. It's like where, besides Jaden Daniels, where are the good quarterbacks the last 5 years in the draft? In the first round, anyway, I should say. But we're gonna go on to the Steelers and Patriots. I wish Nelson was here to talk about this, but he's not. Go figure. Um, let's see. Mekel, Kobe, Brady, Devin, Cason, Cooper, Davis, and Carter. Oh, we might have an even split on this game, 8-8. Is that what that? Yeah, it is even split. All right, Dylan, Patriots. Or no, not Patriots. You didn't go with Patriots. You're not loyal to your Boston
He's a
team.
fraud. He's a fraud.
Not a Patriots fan. Um,
Not
this is
yet.
actually a tough game for me. I wanted to go with the Patriots, but I feel like I've watched their first two games, and I mean, they barely beat the Dolphins, and they lost to the Raiders. And I am not high on the Steelers whatsoever. I actually have the Patriots to win 10 plus games and the Steelers to lose 10 or less games. So it's kind of a weird pick for me, but um, at the end of the day, I just don't believe that terrible much in the Patriots right now after seeing their first two games. I mean, they ran the ball a lot better. Drake May looks solid, but their defense is pretty atrocious. Um, I'm also not like huge on Rodgers or sold on him, but they've looked more impressive than the Patriots have to me at this point in the season. So
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's really just a battle between two mid disgusting teams. I don't like either of these teams. I know the Steelers were my surprise pick, but I just think Rodgers can take them to like a wild card spot. Like you said, Patriots' schedule is very easy. I'm still not a Drake May believer. I feel like he hasn't spread the ball around on that offense a ton either. Like I felt like Kyle Williams is going to be really good coming out of the draft. I don't even know if the dude has a catch yet or not. Um, Dude's throwing a freaking Pop Douglas. Like who the hell does that? Stephon Diggs is still irrelevant. He's really the one that I should have said the corpse of Stephon Diggs, Mekel, instead of Keenan Allen. I did go with the Steelers. Yeah, I went with Steelers this game. Um, I don't know. I really don't know why I even picked the Steelers. I kind of just feel like I've seen more out of them than I have the Patriots. And Devon Achane did run all over the Patriots that last game, which obviously that's going to happen. But I feel like the Steelers run game, I'm hyping them up, Josh. Jalen Warren might have a field day with these guys as long as they're smart enough to start Jalen Warren and keep him on the field instead of Kenneth Gainwell and the atrocity that is Caleb Johnson that fully lost him that game against the Seahawks. But Mekel, you went Pats.
I did. Yeah. Right now, I just think Vrabel is a better coach than Tomlin. I think Tomlin's just, we talked about it a lot. He's the Jeff Fisher of this era. Vrabel, I think, can be better. It's a new team, the 2 games in. Kept it close to the Raiders. They beat the Dolphins. The Steelers, like they beat the Jets, and like we were all impressed right away. But then after seeing how the Jets were this week and how the Steelers were, it just seemed like they had a lot of flaws being shown. And honestly, I just don't really see Mike Tomlin fixing those errors because he's had this defense for so long, you know. Whereas the Patriots, Vrabel's in game 2, he's going to need time, and they will get better. Like that's what's going to happen. But like, what's the Steelers' excuse, you know? So I just see the Patriots getting better quicker week by week than the Steelers do. The Steelers will, and then the Patriots also got the run game back online. I think that was a good confidence game for both their backs. So hopefully that gets them running downhill more next week. And I think it'll be close. It'll be toss up, but ultimately I went Patriots.
Josh, you went with Schittsburg. Why?
Uh, Biggest difference is Pat's line is absolutely dog shit still. We're starting center in the league. So I think this is kind of a get right game for the Steelers defense, honestly. Everybody's been shitting on them and as deserved. They have not been good, but I think they sacked Drake May at least 4 or 5 times, honestly.
And then Cason, you went Patriots. I usually don't want to talk to everybody, but we're an even 8-8 split on this game. So
Yeah, I don't. I've watched that Steelers defense, and outside of TJ Watt, they look atrocious. Um, it's honestly weird to see a bad Steelers defense, but we just watched Justin Fields look like a good NFL quarterback, and then he looked like possibly a mid-tier running back against the Bills. So, um, yeah, I don't have much faith in the Steelers. The offense is pretty iffy and seems to revolve around Rodgers throwing kind of jump balls. And if they ever decide they have a run game, maybe they'll use it.
This game is in New England too, right?
it is, yes.
Yeah.
That would have been my only reason for picking them, but it's not like you're watching Tom Brady play in Foxborough. You're watching freaking Drake May at this rate. So, like I
And
said, I
it
still
didn't matter in week one either when they were home. So
yeah.
Okay.
Packers Browns. This is one though where we all want the Packers. Not surprising. This is going to be my survivor pick so that I'm staying alive this week because it's the very obvious one, I feel like. Um, all I got to say about this one is Joe Flacco might die during this game with that Packers pass rush. He's probably the most immobile person. Although, did you guys see him on that pick six by Nate Wiggins? He almost tracked him down. Oh my God.
he was moving for him.
That's the fastest I've ever seen Joe Flacco move. But realistically, I could see the Packers injuring him and then knocking him out, and this could be the start of either Dillon Gabriel or Shadur Sanders. But um, anybody else want to say anything on this game, or are we just gonna fly through it?
I think we're good to go.
I'll just chime in one time here. The Packers are the Super Bowl champs
They won
here.
the Super
So
Bowl. They did. It's over.
all of this
500
is
now.
irrelevant on your screen. They've already won the Super Bowl. There's no
Yep.
reason to say anything else. Yep.
All I know is that there's a trend whenever a city wins a championship. And if the Brewers win the World Series, you're going to see the Packers win the Super Bowl and possibly the new look Bucks winning the NBA Finals. Just saying.
All right, clip that.
But anyway,
That
um,
chat.
on to the next game. I'm turning into Josh from last year with his Titans pick. Although something about me just, I don't know. I kind of just wanted to pick this one. I went very stupid on some of my picks here. I can't lie, as you can see on the screen. I have one, well, I went 11-5 this week, but I have one bad week after being one of the top dogs all of last year, and I'm like, yeah, we got to shake things up. So that's why I did go some of these upsets. Titans, I do think that they can beat the Colts at home. Cam Ward showed flashes. His cross body throw, I don't know if any of you saw it. That was crazy though on that third down. You
To
should
Ellen.
never make that throw, but he did put her in the perfect spot for Alec Manor. And that whole drive, as long as he was throwing to Isle Manor, like I said earlier this season, that's going to be a great connection for possibly years down the road. I want to have faith in Daniel Jones because now he's going to have to be my dynasty league quarterback for the time being. So I hope the Colts continue to do what they're doing, but a lot of people have said and compared them to the 2024 Saints with how the Saints started off their year. They looked like the best team in football for 3 games, like of all time. But yeah, ultimately, I think the Titans do pull an upset here. But I don't know, those division games I'm always iffy on. But anybody else want to say anything about Daniel Jones and the Colts?
When I was picking this, it just felt like the biggest trap game of all because the odds are like so heavily favoring the Colts. They've been doing so well, and it's like when is Daniel Jones coming back down to earth? It's not if he does, it's when he does, and divisional game and everything. Don't know, but ultimately, what Colts? We're gonna run the high end.
I was gonna say, sounds like you want to go Titans instead, Mekel.
I'm riding the hot hand until the wheels fall off.
Yeah, fair enough. Josh, you got anything to say about me being you from last year right now?
No, it's not surprising, honestly. We all know you're a Titan rider. I'm a Cam Ward believer myself, but after what they did to me last year, no reason to believe in them. Head coach, big question marks. I don't know how many people picked the Colts last week, but I was definitely a rider. Like I said, vibes in that locker room are incredible right now, and I don't see that slowing down versus
I
the
think
Titans.
I think four people picked the Colts. It was either four or five. Um, but if you guys did watch the first half of that Titans Rams game, Titans were actually up on them at halftime, which they looked really good in the first half, but then fell apart. Part of that's the Titans' awful offensive line, but then we're gonna go down to another AFC South matchup, Jags and Texans. For me, this is just an absolutely gross matchup after watching both of these offenses having no ability to score the football for whatever reason. Um, I did go Jags, so I think I went Jags because it's in Jacksonville, so I trust the Jags more. But Trevor Lawrence sucks. CJ Stroud sucks. That's all I have to say about it. Somebody else wants to chime in, I already know.
Mid off.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Case, do you have anything to say about it?
I went with the Texans because I have more faith in their defense, but honestly, at this point, I might have more faith in the Jags offense. So it honestly came down to just watching Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter kind of destroy that Bucs O line last night. It was about the only reason I picked the Texans at this point because that offense looks atrocious.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, I think most people went Texans on it. So, yeah, not much to say about that one either. Yeah, it'd probably end up being a good game, but I don't have any desire to watch it. Falcons, Panthers. The only one that went Panthers is Carter, not
Going
Chris.
Chris, wow.
I know Chris did not go with his beloved Panthers, even though he was hyping up Bryce Young at the end of last week's game. Um, Falcons after Sunday night, they look pretty good. They probably should have beat the Buccaneers week one too, but Younghoe Koo not being able to hit a field goal and them just kind of blowing that game was tough. But at Carolina, my dad is in the survivor pool and he was just going to go against the Panthers all year long, is what he told me. So he is not a Bryce Young believer, but I think he's choosing Atlanta this week, or he might be choosing Tampa Bay after seeing how terrible Justin Fields looked. But anyone want to say anything about it? No. Okay.
Only thing to say is that NFC South games are the biggest trap games of trap
They
games.
are 100%. That's why I never trust them. Um, but we'll go on to the rematch of last year's. Was it the divisional round? Yeah. Rams and Eagles. No, it was the conference champion. I don't remember. Anyway, Eagles, Rams. Let's see. A few people picked the Rams. Most people went Eagles. Cason, you went Rams. You're the only one in here that went Rams, so
Honestly, I have not been that impressed by the Eagles. Their passing game looks atrocious because they have a running back out there.
those are fighting words for some people.
Honestly, though, just like being serious, I'm not super impressed by their team so far this year. Maybe they come out this game. I don't know if they just look bored or what, but I think Jalen Hurts is like the 28th QB this year and QBR or something like that. Their offense just seems off. Their defense looks good, but I guess we'll see here at the Rams. The Rams didn't look great against, in that first game or in that first half against the Titans, but that second half against the Titans, Stafford and Devontae Adams really started to click there and they really started to put the points on them. So we'll see. We'll see if the Eagles, look like they should or if the running back at quarterback continues.
All right, now is the point of the show where I need to hear the debate between Jalen Hurts with Josh and Mekel.
So the biggest thing for me with Jalen Hurts was that I was using him as an example and using all the talking points that Josh from Vikings fans used for JJ McCarthy. I set it up like a week ago. That's why I was going so hard for Hurts, calling him elite and stuff. Because the thing about JJ is he just wins, he just wins. So I was using the exact same trait for Hurts, and everybody was not having it. So it was funny to watch.
Josh, you got anything to say about that?
Uh, Vikings fans can be annoying, so I don't blame him. But I don't think I was on here screaming he just wins. I think he's actually has talent and potential. But Jalen Hurts, on the other hand, has the easiest job in America. He plays the game on freshman, on rookie mode, and just goes out there and doesn't even have to sweat while he plays. The Eagles are actually a bunch of cheaters. They play with 9 yards to go, and then they can do whatever they want after that. Sick and tired watching this tush push. It's disgusting. It's not football, especially the way they do it. So, I mean, yeah, when you basically play with a handicap like the Eagles do, Jalen Hurts doesn't even have to pass the ball because they can just cheat for a first down every single time. So, yeah, they'll probably win.
What
Maybe he
Josh is
plays with a
also
handicap,
talking
but he's
about.
not he's not handicapped though, like JJ.
Hey,
What Josh is also talking about there is how the Eagles are lining up 1 yard offside every single play. Every lineman of
That's
theirs
true.
is lining up offsides, and the league's just not doing anything. It's like Jawan Taylor for the Chiefs, false starting literally every single play, and they just let it slide every single time. Josh, would you rather watch the Chiefs get away with things or the Eagles get away with things like they always do?
honestly, it's disgusting either way. I I don't care what team it is. If it was the Vikings, I would have to admit myself, it's just disgusting. It's not following, playing the game like it's supposed to be played, and I don't like to watch it. It's also very boring to watch.
I
How
don't
about
remember
you
the
throw the ball
full
to AJ
list.
Brown? He's pretty good, but
I don't remember the full list of the teams that like voted against the tush push.
yeah, I
I
would
just
like to see
remember,
that. Is that public?
yes,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It was like 14 teams were the ones that were like, hell no,
I knew it was
this should be
close.
banned. But
Yep.
then the other 18 teams, for whatever reason, if someone wants to look that up, I know the Packers were the ones that wanted to abolish it, which didn't really make sense to me because it's like, okay, the Packers have stopped the tush push several times. Why are they the ones wanting to do it? Why is it not like the Commanders, the Giants, the Cowboys, any of the in-division rivals? Why was it not any of them that wanted to do it? But then I think the Cowboys were one of the teams that actually voted for like not banning it. Or like,
Okay, I have it pulled up, Tim.
okay.
Actually, it was 22 teams voted to ban it, but they needed 24 to ban it.
Oh my God.
The teams that voted not to ban it were the Eagles, Jets, Ravens, Lions, Patriots, Browns, Jags, Dolphins, Saints, and Titans. So all the crap teams, the Ravens, the Lions, and the Eagles.
That's because they're all
Like stick it
thinking,
to the
oh,
good
maybe
teams.
we can perfect this in the future. It's like, no, maybe you should perfect a good draft.
Facts. Yeah, I don't know. That's Josh, you hit the nail on the head. It's just stupid to watch. It's not football. Even when they get rid of Jason Kelsey, they're still running it because they were like, oh, he made that play. No, he fucking didn't. Like,
Jalen Hurts makes it.
yeah, Jalen Hurts makes it, and then whoever's shoving him from behind, Dallas Goedert makes it too. Grant Calcaterra, Cason. How do you like that name, huh? Yeah. But yeah, if I were AJ Brown, I'd also be pissed. Or Saquon, just having his tutties vultured by Jalen Hurts every single drive too. Oh, I'd
Disgusting.
hate that.
Uh, I
Um,
would like to say AJ Brown through 2 games has 6 catches of the football, and I have him in a couple fantasy leagues, and it's painful to
and
watch
he
that
had
team score
he
like
had
80
one catch
points.
week one to win the game on that first down.
Don't worry, he had 5 catches for 34 yards last week, Tim.
Oh boy, what a pick. Um, Jets, Buccaneers. Don't have anything to say about this unless Cooper is Cooper in the room. Let's hear Cooper's thoughts on his precious Jets so far.
He's on his way. Let's hear.
Are you unmuted?
Yep.
Hello, doctors. Um, Jets had a little bit of hope yet again. Not so much hope. Our O line, awful. Our D line, probably even worse. And we get about, I don't know, 10 penalties calling us a game. So we're sitting at like 3rd and 25 every drive. And then we have to punt on 3rd and 20 or 4th and 25 every drive. So yeah, Jets are in a great spot. We're 0-2, and we're probably going to be 0-3 after this week. So that's all I got. Thank you.
First week that Cooper did not pick the Jets, by the way. He's riding with the Baker and the Buccaneers.
He's finally coming to realization. The old off-season madness.
Hey, I put in our spread picks.
Old off-season madness that the Bears fans have every year. All I want to say about this is that I will continue to be on my high horse that Baker's the most disrespected QB in the league, or just player in general. And he just really took that drive by the nuts and freaking just squeezed him on that Texans game. He really just, yeah, Josh, he really just took control of that game there. And the best thing that I saw this week was Baker just getting tackled and then grabbing at his leg and just getting up in CJ Gardner-Johnson's face right afterwards, just talking shit. That was so funny. Classic Baker moment. Um, so then the next game, Raiders, Commanders. We actually have a few people on the Raiders train. I'm assuming because Jaden Daniels is questionable for this game. Anybody have any news on him? I know that this is a Tuesday, so probably not, but
Shout out Jalen Daniels, I guess, if you're gonna say it.
hell no.
Toradol's a hell of a drug.
That dude's gonna be as relevant as Jason Bean as Dillon.
Jason B never had a shot. He never had a
Isn't he
shot.
still on the Colts practice squad?
Maybe. I
He
don't
should have a shot at that.
Jalen Daniels is like 30 though.
Well, anyway, Lurs, Cooper, Davis, and okay, Cason, what's your reasoning for picking Gino?
Marcus Mariota sucks ass. If he plays, they are 100% losing that game because they have one weapon on that offense who's not ass. And Marcus Mariota is not about to make people look better than they are. And also the Commanders defense kind of sucks too.
You're not concerned with how Gino played last night.
Top five quarterback slash no, not really. When it comes to Marcus Mariota, I had to watch a full season of him starting with the Falcons, and I wanted to bash my head in every game, watching him score like 14 points a game.
Fair enough, I guess.
Can we hear from some
Um,
Geno fans, Mekel and Josh, about this?
yeah, Josh, let's hear
Like,
your thoughts on Gino from last night.
As a Geno stan, certainly wasn't his best game. Definitely a bad game on Geno's part. I'm willing enough to admit that, but I'll be a little bit defender of his picks. I mean, one was literally an arm punt that he had nowhere else to go. You might as well throw it up. So it goes in the stat book as a pick, but if you're the quarterback's coach, you say, yep, you did the right thing. Nothing wrong there. The other two are tip balls. Obviously, he's trying to squeeze them through tight windows, but as we can talk about next, turns out the Chargers defense might actually be pretty damn good. Obviously, I know they lost Khalil Mack. That was a gruesome injury, but I think the Chargers might be the real deal. And yeah, they made things tough on Gino. He didn't play the best, but Tommy's defense isn't great. But I think, like I said, Toradol's a hell of a drug, and Jaden Daniels won't feel a thing out there, and he'll be perked up hooping, honestly. Chargers could have won that game by 30 last night, and they just kept trying to give it away. The Raiders didn't look good at all, honestly.
Yeah,
Besides Jacoby Myers, he's a hooper. I like Jacoby.
he is.
Dante Thornton,
he
he
almost
should probably
he's gonna
not
be a
play.
G.
game.
No,
Thornton's
he's supposed to be
in the
good.
future.
He's supposed to be good. We throw it up to him and he jumps 10 feet in the air. The ball is nowhere near you, buddy. What are you doing?
Hey, just like JJ, man, give him time. He's a rookie,
Yeah.
a true rookie. Just give some time. When I made these picks, I didn't know Jaden Daniels was hurt. So if he doesn't play, I'm definitely taking the Raiders. I know it seems like an obvious win for the Commanders, but even if he plays, but I thought it'd be a good game with Jaden healthy. I think this is going to be Ashton GT's coming to the NFL moment. He thinks to show the world what he can do because like Casey said, this defense is not very good. I think he's going to go off. So
Yeah, if he doesn't play, I'm changing my pick on that one. But
That is another point that Carter made too. If he doesn't play, he's taking the Raiders too. But um, like Josh said, I don't think it'll matter because he'll just be drugged up playing anyway. But also, like Josh said, Chargers do look very good. But when I think back of how Herbert plays against the Chargers, or Herbert plays against the Broncos, he doesn't have the best stat line. He's like 5-4 in his career against them, and like 7 picks and only 13 touchdowns, which might sound like a decent sample size, but there's something about me that just wants to pick the Broncos in this game. Like they just had a slow start to week one. They got beat by the Colts, and I don't know. Some would argue that the leverage call was BS at the end of the game, but I don't know. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna be the one to argue it. But I don't know. I feel like if this was in Denver, I'd 100% be on board with picking Denver. Since it is in LA, I'm more, I don't know, I'm not as high on them, but I feel like this is just a game where the Broncos are like, we have to win this game. And that's ultimately my reason for picking them. I think Khalil Mack being hurt is a big loss for that defense too, but they obviously have other components to it. But I don't know. I feel like this is the game where Denver's defense actually shows up and gives Herbert some trouble. Cason, you also want the Broncos in this.
Yeah, I'm probably too high on the Broncos still, but um, I just think they're a little bit better of a team. I think that their defense has to pop off one of these weeks and start ramping up like it did last year when it was statistically by far the best defense in the league. And I think the offense starts to get going a little bit more too with like RJ Harvey and starts to put some other branches in. The offense itself, like passing game wise, actually has looked pretty decent for Denver, and J.K. Dobbins looks solid. Um, I like the Chargers this year. I don't know if I love the Chargers this year. There's just something about them when I watch that if it seems like if you can kind of contain Herbert, I don't love their offense. Their run game struggled a lot, which was surprising to me coming from a Jim Harbaugh offense with a first round pick there. And I think it was Mekel, you said it was kind of in our chat. It's just they trying to give away him away, it seems like in the third quarter, and we'll see. I think one of these teams is either going to be, either they're both going to be 2-1, one's going to be 3-0 after this. But I do think this is probably the game of the week, just looking at the two teams playing it and the playoff implications in this game compared to about every other game this week outside of Monday night.
Mikhail, you went Chargers on this one.
yeah, I'm a big Chargers fan, big Jim Harbaugh guy. I got into an argument with my warrant officer yesterday about the Chargers game before the Raiders game. He was telling me how they're frauds, never good, and I'm like, you watch tonight, they're gonna play well. And I mean, they won. It could have been worse. They had control of it, but they choked it away a little bit. Um, Yeah, no. So Tim, you got to think about Herbert underneath Jim Harbaugh era, right? They're 2-0 against the Denver Broncos last year, right? And he threw, I looked at the stats just now, about 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick in both those games. So Herbert plays good against the Broncos under Jim Harbaugh. They have the receivers they need. Defensive line has been a little shaky. Rashawn Slater out, but I think you saw at the end of the game, Najee Harris started going off there. I still just have a lot of faith in this Chargers offense to carry through on this, and especially with the Broncos are struggling against the Colts, and we don't really know how good they actually are. I think it's a safe bet for the Chargers.
That is a good point. I can't believe I was taking some of the sample size of having Brandon Staley at the helms of coaching. It's a tough look. But what do you guys feel about Amara and Hampton? I feel like,
So many mental errors, so many.
yeah, Dillon. I know you're an owner of him in a fantasy league. I am too. I have not been impressed at all by him so far for how much hype he was getting around him. I was a big RJ Harvey guy over him though in the draft, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of production week one, or a lot of volume. He just didn't really break anything crazy. So I was like, all right, like I felt pretty confident going into week two. I was like, maybe it was just like a stingy defensive front for the Chiefs in week one. I don't know. And then his carries went down significantly. The fumble was tough. They credited that to Herbert because um they give it to the quarterback unless the ball carrier has 100% control of the ball and takes a step or two, which I won a fantasy matchup by 0.30, and I have Hampton in my starting lineup. So if that almost lost me the game. It was against Josh too. Look at him. I forgot it was against
Kind of odd that you're the commissioner in that league, Dylan.
Josh. Dude, I was asleep. That game got over at 1:15 a.m. here. You think I just middle of the night was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna change these rules.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh my gosh. Also bad beat on the Broncos last week. What were they doing? 60-yard field goal. That penalty at the end was disgusting. Moved up to 45-yard chip shot. That actually was the difference in me winning $0 and $500. So that was not great.
But you got to see the Colts mascot fall over when they missed the field goal, and then
That was funny. And the Cam Bynum celebration, as always, he's a legend with the Sellies. That was hilarious as well.
I believe I called the Camp Bynum Selly incoming for this week, and what a perfect Selly it was.
And
I
That was
thought you said it was
incredible.
going to be a cringy one, though.
I should have never doubted Camp Bynum. That was incredible.
Apparently, the mascot had no idea what was going to happen either, is what they claimed. So that's great spur of the moment there. That should be one of the better games of the week, though, I'd assume. What probably won't be a good game is Saints Seahawks. This one's in Seattle. We all went Seattle. I don't think there hasn't been a single person that has picked the Saints yet this year.
That probably won't be either.
I don't think there will be until they might be
they play the
against the
Panthers.
Panthers. Yeah, that
Yeah.
Saints Panthers.
NFC South matchup. Those vaunted matchups there. Um, what did you guys feel about Sam Darnold's play this last week compared to week one? He actually did find other receivers besides Smith and Jigba, so Kenneth Walker looked a lot better too.
He did. He was
I
fine.
didn't watch any, so
I don't have that much to say on it. He was fine. He's overpaid. I don't know. He's just kind of him getting signed there is just kind of like a temporary fix. Like, let's try to be solid right now because the rest of the division's kind of meh. So
Something I will say that someone's looking like a salty tight end ad in fantasy is AJ Barner. As disgusting as that is, in a very deep league, that man has been putting up numbers if you guys have been paying attention. I've just been watching Red Zone and I've seen that turd score, I think, 2 touchdowns now. So very gross for that name of a tight end doing anything productive. But also, it was kind of funny because Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker kind of flip-flopped this week. I saw Charbonnet had like 15 carries for 10 yards or something. Like it was absolutely atrocious what he did this week. Kenneth Walker did a lot better this week, just like they reversed last week. Another NFC West game here. We got the Cardinals and 49ers. Have we heard any news on Brock Purdy? Is he out again?
yeah, he'll be out for like a month, I think.
Yeah, I thought he was
I
out like
think
3 to
till
5
week
weeks for
6.
sure.
Okay. Well, Mac Jones time. All I was hearing today on the Pat McAfee show is that Kyle Shanahan just absolutely loves Mac Jones and he wanted him over Trey Lance to begin with. So he's finally got his guy. Mac Jones has matured a little bit since coming into the NFL. He looked decent in Jacksonville last year when he had to fill in. Um, I don't want to say he looked decent against the Saints because it's literally the Saints. I mean, the Saints are just terrible. Chris has also joined the room. We can let him talk about the Panthers if he wants to. Actually, we can have him talk about the Cardinals because that's who his team lost to last week. Chris, are you here? Anywhere?
I don't
No.
see
He
him
just
on
loaded
here.
in. He
Oh,
just
there
loaded in
he
now.
is.
Chris, I think I heard him.
Yeah, I think he just got
got me?
joined, Tim.
Yeah,
Hello?
okay. So we're on the Cardinals and 49ers game right now. We want to hear your thoughts on the Panthers' almost comeback last week against the Cardinals.
I'm gonna be honest. They played a lot better from what I saw versus Jacksonville in like the second half. Um, like Bryce looked really fucking good in the second half. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like even in the first half when he threw the pick. That was kind of he just got hit late, and the ball just kind of floated up in the air, and he got picked off. Um, I told Cason earlier in the week if Bryce was like 2, 3 inches taller, he'd actually be pretty fucking solid. The problem is I don't really ever think his turnover problem's going to go away. But overall, the team performance was pretty solid, except for the offensive line got injured, which was kind of our strong suit last year. And at the end of the game, all of those injuries were pretty evident because on the last drive, Bryce could not fucking have any time to throw the ball whatsoever. And even if he did, he kept trying to run around and make plays instead of just fucking putting the ball somewhere. That was kind of my thoughts of it. Cardinals look, I mean, about on par with the Panthers, so take that as you will.
Do you have more confidence in the Panthers now after seeing that week 2 game compared to their week 1?
No, not really, because I think the Cardinals are also shit, and I think the Jaguars are better than I thought they were.
Hmm. Interesting.
I have a question for Chris. What are your thoughts on Xavier Legette?
Dude is fucking ass. I freaking love Xavier. Like, cool dude. He's from South Carolina. Like, a lot of people have trouble understanding him. He's, I can understand him perfectly fine. Cool dude. Wish he was a superstar. Guy's just a worse Devin Funchess and just wears the same number.
Oh, the worst Devin Funchess.
Yeah, and that's like being Devin Funchess is not even a good thing either. So
Bunches and bunches of oats, baby.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but shortly after the Panthers drafted Devin Funchess, Kelvin Benjamin and Devin Funchess were supposed to be the Twin Towers, and well, like the real Twin Towers, are both gone now.
All right.
All
Uh,
right.
And it wasn't anyone's fault, Mekel.
I have so many comments to make.
How do you segue from that? All right. Oh, the Bears and Cowboys.
Yeah, Bears and Cowboys, and then the Fox game of the week here.
Oh,
Let's see. I picked the Bears. I don't know why.
Bears are favored right now. For the record, Cowboys are plus 100.
Just because it's in Chicago, because that's the only reason why I'm picking them, and I'm also
Probably.
the NFL just doesn't want to see the Bears go 0-3 to start the year, but I don't know. It's just a battle between two shit teams, in my opinion. Let's see. Caden picked them, Mekel picked them, and Cooper picked them. So, Mekel, I'll let you speak on this one if you want.
This is Bears Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really on the fence about this one. I just feel like the Bears can't go 0-3, like they can't be that bad. And the Cowboys, I don't know, that was a really fun game to watch with the Giants, but at the same time, the Giants aren't supposed to be that good. So like how bad is Dallas actually, Um, Dak, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a shit show of a game, but we're just rolling with the Bears in this one. That Ben Johnson's gonna, tell Caleb to quit painting his nails, and I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, Bears can figure it out this week.
Anyone see Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell meeting at midfield after the game? How awkward that was.
I
It
didn't
was
see
a
that
very
part.
weird, awkward little slap and then whisper in the ear. I don't know what the hell it was, but Josh, I know you're a big Dak Prescott guy, so do you think he's gonna absolutely torch the Bears or
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, this comes down to quarterback matchup, if you ask me. I still think Caleb's got all the talent in the world. He can be everything, but as of right now, he's just not there. Um, yeah, Bears also tend to shoot themselves in the foot, so I expect them to have 10 plus penalties again, like they continue to have. And Brandon Aubrey, all the Cowboys have to do is get past midfield. So when it comes down in the fourth quarter, that's who I believe in.
yeah, Jalen Johnson also being out for the foreseeable future
That
for the
too.
Bears
That's
D
bad
is
loss.
tough.
The corner.
Yeah.
Ah,
He's out with a
shoot.
groin
Okay.
injury and might need surgery apparently. But yeah, CeeDee Lamb should have a heyday, I would assume. If not, George Pickens then I guess. Maybe Turd Ferguson gets a little play he did last week. He got some motion. Um, let's see. So then we're gonna segue into the next game. Josh, is Cooper available?
Yeah, why?
I need to
Cooper,
ask him about his Giants pick here.
Cooper, you gotta talk about your Giants pick over the Chiefs. I asked him that earlier. I said, "You picked the Giants, huh?"
If it did, gotta switch something up. I'm in like dead last almost. Might as well.
Well, Cason's in dead last, but
True.
Cason,
That's assault. That didn't need to be said.
Cason, why'd you go Kansas City? I mean, I feel like I shouldn't even need to ask that, but
Um, if I think if the NFL allowed the Chiefs to start 0-3, the Taylor Swift fans would storm NFL HQ.
The real terrorists.
yeah, that is very true. I don't think we're gonna see the Chiefs start 0-3, unfortunately. But I really wish Caden was here to talk about Russell Wilson and what the hell that was in that overtime. Oh my God, that Giants and Cowboys overtime game. Very entertaining game throughout. But like, how did Russell Wilson look like 2013 Russell Wilson throughout 97% of that game? And then once overtime hits, he just becomes an absolute idiot out there. And his last pick that won the Cowboys football game ultimately, literally a routine fly ball to center field. That wasn't that was the most moon ball thing I've ever seen, and it fell right into the safety's hands. I was like, what the hell? Malik Neighbors almost ended up knocking the ball out playing defender. And Brandon Aubrey comes and swings his leg and kicks a game winner. Also the first kicker in NFL history to kick a game tying field goal and a game winning field goal in overtime there. So that's I heard that today. But
Can I say something about the Chiefs quick? It's
yeah.
first time one I've never been called on as a quote unquote closeted Chiefs fan by Tim to talk about a Chiefs
Ah,
game. Um, Number two, I think you guys need to thank me because I think I'm just going to pick the Chiefs to win every game this year because clearly it's working and they're losing games. So I will sacrifice a loss every week if that means that they will lose a game and they can sacrifice whatever devil magic they want in the locker room. It's not going to work against me. So
well, we hope not because I think the NFL season is just much more enjoyable when the Chiefs are just not good, not playing at a high level. Also, Case, and I got to ask you about that Aaron Andrews interview with Travis Kelce before the game Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I just saw Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce on my screen and turned it to CBS. I don't know what actually happened during the interview. I just knew I was not about to listen to that bullshit again.
And then you heard Benson Boone playing in the background.
Yeah, still said I met that guy once before he was popular.
that's
Okay, so
freaking
for anyone that didn't watch that, it was the most cringy interview I've ever seen. And Travis Kelce, so she asked him, she's like, all right, you're 13. There was a lot of people in your fan base that thought you weren't going to stick it out for another year. And I shit you not, he goes and he like does stupid puppy eyes at the screen and he's like, what? They said that in that voice, and I wanted to freaking punch my TV screen so bad. Oh my God, I hate him to begin with, but I've never hated a player as much as probably Caleb Williams. But Travis Kelce, oh my God, if I could sock one person in the face in the NFL and not have any repercussions from it, Travis Kelce, 100%. Because God, he just seemed like such a bitch in that moment. And he has throughout his entire career. But one thing I am surprised about is this Monday Night Football matchup. Every single person picking the Ravens. So, are we really just saying the Bears are that bad where the Lions just completely took it boot to ass, or are we I'm mainly picking it because it's in Baltimore and
yeah.
you know, the Lions aren't good playing outdoors, but I am surprised to see that nobody went Detroit. And I feel like now that you guys have seen that no one went Detroit, some people would want to gain somewhere in the standings in case Detroit did win it.
The
So
Lions are
They're not
gonna
gonna
win.
win it.
They're gonna win.
now that we curse them, yeah, the Lions
Yeah,
will
they're gonna
lose.
win. But
There's always the stat that Lamar's only lost to two NFC teams in his career, or two NFC games in his career, and one was the Eagles when Justin Tucker Mr. Deshaun Watson 2.0
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
hit the broadside of a barn last year.
He's just
What wasn't his other one like some shitty NFC team?
Yeah, it was like his rookie or second
I
year,
feel
something
like it
like
was the
that.
Giants that he. I think it was the
I
Giants
think it was the
specifically.
Giants like really early or something like that. But yeah, he doesn't lose to NFC teams because there's nobody like him in the NFC. So it's a tough one to game plan for. And remember last year Baltimore just absolutely annihilated Detroit like 41-17 or something like that.
Oh yeah, that is true. Chris, since you didn't get to talk too much, we'll ask you because I know didn't you pick the Lions to win the NFC North?
No, I picked the Packers. Lions for my disappointment.
Oh yeah, they were okay. Yeah, let's hear about. We'll hear about Jared Goff from Josh, but also first for the Lions' disappointment. If you're still gonna stick with that after seeing that absolute onslaught of the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears fucking suck. So I mean, like, I think a disappointment for the Lions is going like, what would it be like 10-7? I think that's fair to say that'd be a disappointment. That's kind of what I'm still sticking with. I mean, missing the playoffs, yes, but more so, that's about what I think they're going to do, and that's a disappointment for me if I was a Lions fan. But I don't know what true disappointment is because I'm a Carolina fan, and that's just the constant state I live in. So 10-7 would be a welcome score or welcome
I
final.
thought it was Cam Newton not diving on the ball.
We're not going to talk about that. He did everything he could. He was protecting himself.
Not putting his body on the line. Hey, I mean, he didn't want to pull an RG3 tearing an ACL on that like RG3 did.
What never makes sense to me is the dude would like run people over, do front flips into the end zone, and like the one time, like I just still don't know. I want to know what was going through his mind right there.
I think it looked like the ball was about to shoot out, and that's why he was getting prepped for it. He kind
Yeah,
of stopped and like moved to the right a little bit if you look at it.
well,
What would Gino have done?
Yeah, what
Gino
would you
wouldn't
know
have
have
been
done?
there.
Bad kick.
He would have scored a touchdown somehow.
He 0 for 10 on throws of over
Yeah,
10 plus yards.
yeah, yeah. I'm at him at
At least
15-1.
he's
Do you know what
throwing
I had him
them.
at 150?
I was
Shout out
gonna
Jalen
say,
Hurts.
I was hoping that somebody would bring up Geno Smith's 0 for 10, throwing 10 plus yards down the field.
Sheesh.
Dante Thornton's fault, like I said. Guy's a bum.
Another kitty appearance on the MozPod, I see.
Shout out. But now that we're on that, yeah, Lamar Jackson versus Jared Goof. Come on. This is going to be a master class by Lamar. It's just going to show the difference between elite and a jag. So, yeah, obviously everybody agrees with me. Everybody picked Baltimore. I'm just playing. Baltimore's pretty loaded everywhere. I think Dan Campbell obviously got the boys ready to play versus the Bears. That whole offense, I think, took Ben Johnson leaving a little bit personally. You don't often see OCs going in division to go be head coach, so kind of a random, I wouldn't say random, but extra motivation for sure.
So Jared Goof throwing for 5 touchdowns and jumping in the Lions leap zone, which is the worst thing I've seen this week. What the hell even is that? But that
Shout
female
out that girl,
dude,
that little girl.
that girl is funny as hell. Oh my God. Uh,
The
but
freaking Whistler, dude. The woman Rizzler.
but no, Josh, the 5 touchdowns don't matter, huh?
No, doesn't move me. Jared Goff's always put up numbies when he has zero pressure. So Monra's really good. Jameson's really good. They're running butt naked, wide open. So as long as Jair Alexander doesn't play, then defense should look better.
Oh, he won't play for probably at least 10 weeks throughout this season. Don't you worry.
Who in our chat called Jared Goff Gooflovsky?
Yep, right here.
Yeah, I mean that's incredible. That's a great nickname.
Yep, shout out Boston Connor heard it there first. And
It's up
God, it's
there.
beautiful.
It's up there with Toe Burrow.
Yeah, RIP.
Oh
All right,
God.
much shorter of one tonight. Anyone else got anything to say?
Yeah, before we go, with JJ being hurt, should the Vikings trade for Kirk Cousins?
Yes. 100%.
First round pick, let's do it.
Oh, man. Ugh, I don't know. I just kept seeing him in the back. Like they were showing like Michael Penix before the game. Like headphones on, like vibing. They just see Kirk just like being like a NBC back there, and I was like, I really don't miss that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But
Well, I suppose you guys don't want Kirk Cousins back, eh?
He's out of my life.
Ah,
I hope I'd never talk about him again.
Oh, wow.
In Carson, we trust the Wentz train.
We gave him plenty of money. He should be happy.
I'd love to see just Julie Cousins on my screen again, watching quarterback and not
Very
having
sweet
to watch,
lady. No
not
shame
having
to
to
her.
watch Jared Goff for a season again.
I partially missed the Pizza Ranch commercials, I will say.
Yeah, he doesn't
I
have
agree.
anything like that in Atlanta.
They won't let him near Chick-fil-A because God.
All right, well, another episode of the MozPod. We will be back next week. Hopefully not on a Tuesday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll see. Appreciate you all being on. We will be back next week.